If you are looking for some guidance for the month of November, then this is the reading for you. Hi, it's Daire here, the brain and biz coach for coaches, healers, and behind the scenes bitches. And today I'm joined by the gorgeous Darcie, who is going to be taking part in a bit of a fun collaborative reading with me for you guys. So, Darcie, take a couple of minutes, introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you do.
So my name is Darcie. I am also known by my business name, Priestess Darcie. I am a priestess, spiritual teacher, and spiritual healer, and I just want to spend my time creating magic for you guys, creating massive, amazing transformations, healing, card readings, you name it. I'm all about that.
Well, speaking of which, that is why we are here today. We are here to bring you a different kind of reading. So today we are going to be doing a reading for your star sign. So it's going to be business guidance, advice, inspiration, but specifically for your sign. So if you've never done one of these before, what you will do is scroll right down to the description box and find the timestamp for both your sun sign and your rising sign. I highly recommend you watch both to get a full reading and a full picture. And that's it. That's all you've got to do. Go description box, find your signs, go watch your reading and implement it and enjoy. Okay, so this is the reading for Aries. Take it away, Darcie.
So I have some magical cards here for you guys. So for the Aries who are watching this, the first card that came out was the Dance with Life card. So this is all about doing something to change up your energy, to feel that shift, that magic back in your life. What can you do right now that will just bring something new into your life? Even if it's literally just like shake it all out and just doing something that will shift your energy. Something like that will be extremely powerful and very potent at the moment, just to shift off the end of that Mercury retrograde that we all just had. So the next card that came out is the Yemaya card, the card of golden opportunity, signing to you that there are so many doors that are opening for you right now, and now is the time to walk through them. So look for these opportunities as they'll come up to you. The universe is showing you them, so pay attention. So, and I think that's going to be very important for you. And the last card that came up for you guys was the Hermit card in reverse. So this card is all about going within, retreating, recharging and resting. So I think for me, what's coming up from this is a reminder right now that whilst it's naturally the time to go into your hermit mode to recharge and rest, as this card says, it's also time for you guys to actually just go, okay, when do I need to rest? When am I just being lazy? And when do I need to shake it up? And like the first card said, go and dance with life again. So keep your eye out for those magical opportunities. Make sure you give yourself that energy to do what you want to do. And let me know, let us know in the comments if it resonates with you.
Okay, so now it's my go. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and this lines up perfectly. So first card is Amethyst, which is all about trusting your intuition. So listening to those nudges, as Darcie was saying, really having that conversation with yourself about what you need energetically, physically, emotionally, all of that stuff. Because we often think about our businesses and what our business needs and what we have to do to tick the box and complete the action and hit the goal. But often we forget that taking care of ourselves is the most important thing. It's the most important thing. It's the most important thing. And I'm saying it 3 times for emphasis, because we're the lifeblood. We are the thing that keeps the business going. And so without taking care of yourself, your business is going nowhere. And just in case we needed more confirmation, the page of emotions, it's all about taking care of your inner landscape. So any sort of emotional, energetic work that you can do for yourself, whether that is something like meditating, tapping, journaling, whatever tactics work for you, just making those part of your regular, either daily or weekly practice is going to be important for you going forward as we reach the end of this year. And then answers within. So again, it's not about thinking, oh, Daire says tapping's great, so I'm going to do tapping. It's about actually listening to what resonates with you. So what tools you like, what really works for you, what makes you feel better, because it's not about meditating for the sake of meditating so that you can say that you've meditated. Like, the goal is actually to create a result, to make you feel better, to refuel yourself. So be really discerning about what you choose to spend your time and energy on. Now, if this is resonating with you, then definitely hit subscribe, because I'm doing these readings each month. But before we move on to our next sign, one more card. Go deeper. Go deeper. And I think that flows really beautifully with what we've been talking about today so far. And if you are ready to do that, if you're ready to go deep, if you're ready to actually make all of this like inner work and looking for opportunities to take care of yourself and really like blast through those blocks, then I would love to invite you to join me for Slay 2020, which is a 2-week free coaching experience I'm hosting this month. It's going to be full of all kinds of this stuff to help you really shift into that next level, from tapping to card readings to trainings to mini coaching to all kinds of fun and flim flam. I would love to see you there. The link is in the description box, so definitely come along and join us. Okay, and now it is time for our Taurus reading. Darcie, over to you.
So we start with this card, which is the ever unfolding rose, and it is a reminder to just really pay attention to the fact that the things that happen in your life, even if they feel a bit crap, it's okay, but they're happening for you. They are happening for you, not to you. It's that reminder that this is all serving your expansion, your growth, your ability to understand more and more about life. And I just think that whatever you're going through right now, all of the Taurians, just really notice and really remind yourself it's happening for you, not to you. So, and I think maybe there's going to be a bit of a challenge at this point, and it's not a bad one, and I'll explain why, because we have the leap of faith card here. So I think there's a real sense that you're going to have to maybe just trust the universe a little bit on something, and really trust that things are going to work out. And I can tell you that they will. So, because the next 2 cards, which came out together from the next deck, is the spring card, which is all about seeing your seeds grow and everything really exploding into life and like just shining that light onto you, which is really funny that I just use those words, because the next card is the sun card, which is all about, it literally says on there, enjoy, success, and happiness. So this is definitely a shift happening for you guys during this month. That is definitely a shift for the better. So I'm really excited for you guys. Just take that leap of faith and you know it's all going to be okay. So, and I think if you're feeling a little bit stressed out or in need of some love, it's going to be the links in the description, a free love bubble guided meditation just to surround yourself back in that energy of divine love and knowing that you can trust the universe to support you through this, and then to really celebrate when you have those wins at the end. So thank you, Daire.
Okay, let's see what we have over here. You will honestly think that I'm making this up. I'm not. We did not pre-plan this. But the first card was Bring in the Light, which is June. And I think like I know Darcie was talking about like trust and about amazing things happening. And I think like this is an extra reminder to shine the light on where they are already happening, because we often think that the goal is like in the future, it's removed from us. And we don't necessarily pay attention to all of the breadcrumbs or all of the evidence that it is already unfolding. It is already taking place. We are already starting to see that progress. So I highly recommend you just, like, even if you take 5 minutes, 10 minutes in a journal on a piece of paper, just to write a list of evidence that the goal is on its way, it's already happening. Even if right now things feel a little bit sticky, things feel a little bit difficult, it's still happening. Which really brings us to this one. So the Queen of Emotions in reverse. And this is all about things feeling difficult. And it might not be that things are actually hard for you to do, but they might just feel impossible right now. It might feel like you're overwhelmed or feel like you're blocked in some way. And that is perfectly normal. It's part of the cycle of this thing called business. We all experience it. And this is just your reminder that it is simply one of the stepping stones. It is not the whole path. So don't let it deter you. Don't let it make you think, fine, I'm just going to give up and like dramatically like throw the baby out with the bathwater. We don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. We don't wash the babies in the dishwasher. Health and safety hazard. Just like keep going, keep paying attention to all of the signs, all of the evidence that everything is working out in your favor, because it really, really is. And if you do notice yourself feeling this stickiness, feeling this resistance, then draw on the resources that you have around you. Like, we all have access to so many things, whether it is a meditation like Darcie's Love Bubble meditation, whether it is like a group experience, something like my free Slay 2020 challenge, where we'll be doing like group tappings to help shift some of those blocks, whether it's a book that you have on your shelf, whether it's simply your journal, whether it's talking to a friend. We all have these things that can shift our energy and make us feel better in the moment. So remember that. Don't just wallow, don't just suffer. It's not helping anybody. And then the third card that came up was the intuition card. So again, this is like really flowing quite nicely. And this is just your reminder to follow your gut or follow the nudges when you start feeling that stickiness, when you start feeling like things are just impossible or things feel heavy or whatever. Like, that in itself is a sign from your intuition that you need to pause, take a break, like shake off the energy, do something different, and just remove yourself from that state. Like, there are no prizes for the person who powers through the most like painful and difficult situations. There just isn't. So there is absolutely no reason for you to force yourself through anything at all. You have the power to like stop, drop, and shift your energy whenever you choose to. If this is resonating, then definitely go ahead and hit subscribe, because we do these readings every month. Oh, okay. So the final card I pulled is the reverse Three of Emotions. So when it's the right way up, this card is very much about like being in like a close-knit community, almost like a friendship group that really like just can be there and be supportive in every single way. Now, when it comes out in reverse, it could be a sign that maybe this is something that is lacking for you right now and it's something that you want to create, or it could be a sign that you're just not using the support that you have around you. And that's my feeling, given the other cards that have come up. Like, you might just not remember that you can ask for help and that you can ask for support from the people around you. And I really want you to, if you take away one thing from this reading, it's this. It's that you get to ask for help without any judgment, without any shame, without any guilt. You just get to ask for help. The people around you love you and they want the best for you. So ask. They will oblige. Yeah. Okay, and now it is time for our Gemini reading. Darcie, over to you.
So for the magical Geminis, we have the first card is the Age of Light. And I really feel like this is the month for you guys to do some big, epic transformation that's going to allow you to get to this like magical next level version of yourself. So I am very excited for you guys. But yeah, like this sense of like just aligning to this new level of yourself is really here. The next card as well is the Butterfly Maiden, which is all about transformation. And this one literally jumped out the deck as I was shuffling. So it's fully this magical sign that you're really transforming to this like beautiful next level version of yourself. And I think just really paying attention to this transformation and noticing where you're feeling resistances. And I want to encourage you, Geminis, to drop your shields. You are protected and you are safe throughout this transformation. And although it can be hard sometimes, it's really important to allow it to happen and to allow yourself to be supported and not feel restricted by the people around you, because people want to help you, people want to support you. And it's time for you to drop those shields and just to really embrace your transformation. So, and I can't wait to see how you all end up on the other side of this month. So leave a comment if it resonates. I am very excited for you, Geminis.
I love that. And I'm a Gemini, so I'm paying attention to these cards. Oh, okay. So the first card that came up was Lightning, but in reverse. And so when this one comes up, it's always, to me, like a big drastic change that happens like that. Like it's something unexpected. It's not going to be something that you've been like carefully working towards or planning or laying the groundwork for. It's going to be something entirely unexpected, and you get to decide how you react to it. So you can either reject it because it wasn't part of the plan, and you know, we like things that are in the plan, or you can embrace it and receive who knows what kind of amazing result or opportunity or magic in your life or in your business. Okay, so the next card is Phantom Quartz, which says embrace change on it. So I think we have our answers there, guys. We are going to be accepting of our bolts of lightning and let them take us where they want to take us. Then the next card that I came up with is Lepidolite, which is all about recalling your dreams. So I think this is very relevant to these cards of like rapid change, because sometimes we get tied up in the busy work of achieving our goals. So we create these big plans for ourselves, we have these ideas, and it's amazing. But sometimes we need to go back to basics. So go back to the original vision, like why you chose to do this work, why you chose to run this business the way that you did. Chances are it's because you had a dream. You had a dream of the way that you wanted to live, or the way you wanted to work, or the impact you wanted to create, whatever it was. Just go back to that. Remember what that original dream was, and notice how these new opportunities, these new avenues that you could go down could lead you towards that dream too. Because yes, like these plans that you've made, these things that you've been working on, they could very well take you to that dream, to that vision, but they're not the only ways. There are infinite ways that we can achieve any goal ever. So remember that. Don't keep yourself in a box. Don't restrict yourself, like Darcie was saying. Like you don't have to like be so narrow-minded, because there are so many opportunities out there for you in so many different ways that you can do different things. So bear that in mind. I would love for you to hit the comments and just share with us, what was that original dream? What was that original vision that you had for your life or for your business when you started doing this work? Comment and let us know. We're nosy, we like to know these things. And then the last card that I pulled up was the reverse Four of Materials. So this one is all about the money trickling in, especially when it comes up in reverse. This is like the money is going to start flowing, and it's not going to be in the way you expected. It's not going to be on the thing that you have been focusing your energy on. A coach that I'm working with describes this in a really nice way. So she says that like when we do our work, when we ask for sales, it's like we're asking for money with one hand, but then we usually receive it in the other. So it might be that we're putting a specific offer out there, for example, but then we don't make any sales, but we do like randomly get a different kind of client come to us and give us even more money. So it's great to like still be putting in that effort and putting yourself out there and doing that work, but don't close yourself off to receiving the results in a different way altogether. Okay, now let's start with our Cancer reading. Darcie?
So, Cancers, we start with the Unbound card, which is all about releasing anything that isn't serving you. And I feel like towards the beginning of the month, this is going to be a really good time for you just to like shed the things that don't serve you, allow them to go away, but take with you the blessings and the lessons that you've learned from them. I think this is a really key thing, is to remember the things that are valuable about all the tough experiences, because every experience we have teaches us something really, really valuable. And I think the key for you guys is going to be to really just have some compassion towards yourself and to others for this month, and just to really allow yourself to just be and sit with the energies. And this card says on it, release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. So I think this is just a reminder that, you know, everybody's going through their own version of whatever's going on. And, you know, we're not in the easiest world right now. So allow yourself to have that compassion, but especially for yourself. I think we often forget to be compassionate towards ourselves. And I think for you guys right now, this is really important. The last card that came up, it's really interesting. It's the drum card, which says on it, dream and journey. So this is all about spending some time connecting to the divine, however you choose to, and really just journeying with that, really communicating with the divine. If doing some meditation journeys is something that appeals to you, then please check out my elemental guided meditations. They are a set of 4 magical meditations, which I think will really help you guys at this time, just to really go deeper into your connection with the universe in whatever way that comes through to you. So yeah, just really connecting through that journeying time. And I think it's just so beautiful to like really go into that magical space. So I love all of the little images around this. I think it's really magical. So yeah. Daire.
Okay, let's see what we've got. So the first card is replenish. So this is all about just resting and refueling. It's really easy to get caught up in that hamster wheel of always like doing more things, and as soon as we hit a goal, it's like, okay, what can we focus on next? And this is just a really like big loud calling card to pause in between, to take some time for yourself, to not only like celebrate what you've achieved, but just pure rest. And I am not talking like useful self-care things here, like working out and things like that. I mean like veg, sleep, binge watch Netflix. Just do things where you can power down your brain, replenish your body, and just like come back to this state of pure like calm and chill before you move on to the next thing. And that doesn't mean that you have to take a whole weekend or set aside a whole chunk of time. It can be as simple as like an hour. Like give yourself 1 hour to just rest and replenish, but do it with intention. And then we have fluorite, which is find peace within. So an echo really to just take that hour to rest and replenish. I would love for you, like all of the Cancerians watching this, I want you to hit the comments and share your commitment now. Tell us that you're going to take that 1 hour to rest and replenish, and tell us when you're booking that in for. I want to see those hours in your calendar so that they're official, they're happening. If you have a paper planner, write it in pen so you can't erase it. Like you are getting 1 hour to yourself just to pure rest. Okay, and then the next card that came up is the 2 of inspiration. So this is very much about like looking out into the distance and really allowing yourself to daydream and imagine the vision of what could be possible. So what could your reality look like? What could your business look like? What could your life look like? Your relationships? Just allow yourself to imagine. And you don't have to think about the plan that will help you get there. It's not about creating actionable steps that you can follow to like force this vision into being. It's about just letting your mind wander and think about the possibility. Now, if this is something that resonates, I would love to invite you to Slay 2020, which is my 2-week free coaching experience taking place this month, where we are going to do a whole bunch of work to really like release all of the blocks that have been holding you back from doing the things you want to do, and just start claiming that action, claiming that vision, making that reality your actual reality in really easy, fun, flowy ways. So definitely check out the link in the description box if that's something that sounds fun for you. Then the last card that I've pulled for you is Soul Journey. So I think this is just a reminder of where you are going. Now, as a Cancerian, you are deep, you are emotional, you are spiritual, you are all of those things. And sometimes like in this world that we live in, it can be really tempting to try and fit yourself inside other people's boxes, like other people's ways of working, of communicating, of all the things. And you don't have to do that. Nobody has to do that, but you do not have to do that. You can take this time to rest, replenish, to daydream, to imagine, and just let things unfold the way they're going to unfold, because wherever you end up is going to be the exact right place. And I just want you to remember that you don't have to force anything. It's not in your sign. Okay, now it is time for our lovely Leos. Darcie, take it away.
So we start with the protection card here coming up. And I think this is just a real reminder to really just nurture and look after your own energy right now. I feel like there's so much going on in the world and we really need to make sure we look after ourselves first. So this is something that I will really prioritize for you guys. And I think also just maybe having a look at maybe where you've been giving your power away a little bit. And what I mean by that is which of your friendships, relationships, any kind of relationships around you are feeling a bit draining right now. And how can you change that? Just have a little look at that. I think it could be something very magical for you. And then I think it's really interesting that I think you guys need to start leaning on the people around you a little bit more. Start delegating your, not necessarily your tasks. I mean, if you can, go for it. But I think also there's a sense of actually asking others for support right now, asking the divine for support right now. If you have a god, goddess, or the universe that you come to, really asking them for their support, because right now they really want to give that to you. And I think that's going to open a lot of doors for you. If you actually allow yourself to be supported through this bizarre time, I think there's going to be a lot of doors that open for you. And then I think, again, like this card is coming up saying, Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. I think this is just really reiterating what I was saying kind of more towards the beginning of just really allow yourself the time to just go within, to reflect about how you feel about the external, how you feel about what's going on in the world right now, how you feel about your friendships, your relationships, all that kind of stuff, and how you feel about yourself. And I think it's just going to be a very interesting, reflective, magical month for you guys. So, yeah.
Okay, let's see what I have. Oh, I love this one. Okay. So this is one of my favorite cards, the Six of Materials. And this is all about like the pure like joy of abundance. So if you can see, like they're just like full on like dancing in this like shower of roses, and it's just like full of joy and flow, and it just feels really good. It is not forcing money in, it is not like hustling to make things happen. It's almost like just taking all of your efforts and all of your ideas into a bowl, tossing them up into the air, and then just letting them like fall and flow and like bring all the bounty upon you. So that is very much the vibe for the month, and I am here for it. And yeah, this just echoes that Unikai, which is all about living in the now. So not micromanaging how things are going to happen for you, just really enjoying things and noticing, like being really present to what is going on, the good and the bad, and really celebrating the good and like speaking the good out loud. So if something good happens, tell somebody or write it down somewhere. Don't just bypass it and let it fall into a memory. Like really feel it, acknowledge it, share it, that this good thing has happened, and you will just like see all of your like rewards and all of your opportunities multiply and multiply and multiply, because that, like I said, that is really the energy of this month for you. And then yeah, so again, release. So it's releasing the need to control what's going on, releasing the need to plan every single micro step along the way, just letting things happen. Like, you know what your mission is, you know what your work is, you know what it is that you do when you work with people, how you work with them, how you create transformations. You already know that stuff. You don't need to know the rest. You don't need to know exactly how things are going to work out for you. As long as you're really clear on what your mission is and how you create it, how you create the impact, then you are good to go. And then the final card really just echoes what Darcie was saying, boundaries. Boundaries, boundaries. So really take a little bit of time to almost audit the people you have around you, and just be aware of the ones that drain you, the ones that don't necessarily support you, the ones who maybe give you backhanded compliments or make offhand comments that make you feel a certain type of way. And when you notice that around you, you can choose whether you let it in or whether you don't. You can create boundaries with these different people. And it doesn't matter if they are friends, family members, neighbors, someone that you can't remove from your life, that's fine. but you can do what you can to prevent them from having such an influence over the way you feel. You could check out my free cord cutting meditation. That might help. Come join us in Slay 2020 for some tapping scripts that will help. There are so many free resources available to you to help specifically with boundaries. But if you, like, when you do this work, when you are willing to release the relationship dynamics that feel sticky, you will welcome in connections and relationships that are amazing and supportive and fuel like your every hope and wish and dream. And then you can be supported. So like Darcie was saying, like, you want to be supported, you want to be surrounded, but you can't always do that. You can't always trust that when you are also surrounded by people who don't have your best interests at heart. So take a little bit of time to think about this, maybe journal on it. And I think that will be of great benefit to you, because like I said, like, this month has so much potential. And if this is the one thing that is holding you back, these boundaries, these funky relationships, then, you know, which one are you going to choose? Let us know. So hit the comments and share like how you're feeling about this reading. Like, I know boundary work can be really sticky for some people and you can really resist it. So just hop into the comments and let us know what comes up for you, and we might just be able to help see you through it. Okay, and now we are ready for our Virgo reading. So Darcie, let's start with you.
So, cards, Virgo, are encouraging you to step a little bit outside maybe your comfort zone. The reason I say this is because the first card we have is play. And I think sometimes, I get it, Virgos, I get it. We get caught up in the work, get caught up in the hustle. We don't need to do that. That's not how we're meant to live life. I actually was saying to one of my one-on-one clients recently, you do realize we're meant to enjoy life. We're meant to be happy. We're not meant to be here just to sit and work and do something that is completely exhausting and draining 24/7. We're meant to have fun. So this is your reminder, Virgos, have fun this month. And you know what will happen when you do? Because the universe rewards it. You have the abundance card, prosperity coming in, the universe pouring its love and abundance to you, because it's so important when you're in that flow, when you're in your total embraced part of you, where you can embrace your fun and your magic and all of those things about you that you love. You step more and more into your alignment. When you're aligned, the universe supports that, and therefore it's going to love that and pour its abundance to you. So that is really, really powerful and really magical. And I think also, if you've been feeling a little bit off or not quite right, just remember you're so protected. You have the guardian angel with the white feather coming up. Have a look for white feathers. See where they come across your path. You never know. They seem to appear in the most bizarre of places. And it does say on this card, you are not alone. So please remember, Virgos, you are not alone. And you're so supported by the universe. So please let us know in the comments what you're going to do to play, because I want to hear about it. So let us know.
And I'm going to be joining you with that, do something to play, because my rising sign is Virgo, and this is definitely a message that I've needed to hear. So, oh my God, this is just perfection. So the first card that I pulled out is Freedom, which for me is like very playful and very about the balance. So if you notice, like, the black and the white, the light, the shadow, the masculine, the feminine, it's all about balancing that play with that focus, because the Virgo brain is so organized, so great at making the amazing plans and getting the stuff done and figuring out what needs to happen. But you need that space too, that space for flow, that space for freedom, that breathing room for your brain, because that's when the genius ideas hit. You are here running a business because you are some kind of visionary. You have like ideals, dreams. You want to make this impact. You do not want to just be the worker bee that gets everything done. Like, that is not your role here. So making the time for play and flow and freedom is like a business investment for you. And then the next card is Go with the Flow. So just in case it wasn't clear, flow, freedom, play. Like these are like, even if you just like chant them to yourselves as a reminder, freedom, flow, play, freedom, flow, play. Just keep saying them to yourself again and again and again. And just look for one thing that you could do each day that would tick those boxes. So what one thing could you do that feels like play? What one thing could you do that feels like flow? And what one thing could you do that feels like freedom? They might all be the same thing. They might be different things, like whatever, it doesn't matter. But try and make them a tiny bit more of a priority in your day-to-day work and life. And then the next card that came up is the Page of Materials. And this card is like the beginning of true abundance. It's like the very like start of that journey to like the income levels that you have been like journaling on and visioning and hoping for. And so what that tells me is that if you do this work that we've been talking about, this playing, this letting things flow, this making space, then this is what is going to happen. You are going to finally start hitting those income goals, making the kind of money that you keep saying you want. So have this be your incentive. And that if this is something that you really resist, if this like flowing and freedom and, you know, like la making space thing is a source of anxiety for you, I get it, then I really want to invite you to come and join us for Slay 2020. It's a free 2-week coaching experience that I'm hosting this month, and it will help you really like release all of the resistance you have to like making yourself a priority in your business. So the link is in the description box. Definitely come join us. It's going to be full of fun and magic. And yeah, so the last card that I pulled out is the 9 of Voices. So again, like this is a card of like looking inwards and reflecting and knowing what you really want and thinking about what you really feel and making your decisions from this like self place rather than what you think you should be doing or what in theory should work. And this like is very like in line with what we've been talking about with like the play and the flow and the freedom. Like that gives you the headspace to look within and figure out what it is that you want and what it is that you think, because we are so influenced by all of the information, all of the voices that surround us 24/7. Sometimes it's difficult to discern what's really ours and what isn't. So taking that time away to again, like be silly, to play, to float, to whatever, will give you just that expansive space to figure out what it is that you want and you need and you feel. And that will help you make the most aligned moves in your business that will bring about this like abundant flow. So go forth, play, do fun things, and let us know what you're committing to. Like Darcie said, hit those comments and tell us what you'll be doing to play this month. Even if you just tell us one of the things that you choose, we want to hear it. Okay, now it's time for our Libra babe reading, of which Darcie is one. So these cards are going to be perfect for her too. So Darcie, take it away.
So definitely as a Libra, I'm feeling these cards. The first card that came up is the Mintercan card. So this card is all about maybe feeling like you don't quite fit somewhere, feeling a little bit like you're longing for something you don't quite have right now, whether this is a partner, whether this is a home, whether it's to find your real like soul squad of friends, whatever it is that you're feeling slightly like you're just not you're missing in your life. First of all, it's okay to miss those things. And to crave those things, and just know that they are coming. The reason I say that is we have the Bright Future card, and it says literally on it, stop worrying, everything is going to be fine. So it's pretty self-explanatory and pretty just exactly, you know, this is how it is. Don't worry about it. Things will work out. There's just a little bit of time that needs to happen. So, and what's coming out next is interesting, is the card of Fairness, which literally has the scales on it, because of course it does, it's Libra. And it's all about knowing that things are going to actually work out exactly as they are meant to. And this is like it goes hand in hand with the stop worrying card. Like, allow things to happen as they're meant to. The universe is going to handle this and it's all going to be completely fine. So, your next move, we have the Traveler, which says move in another direction. Now, this can mean, okay, maybe the thing that you're missing, the thing that you're longing, you've been trying to get it in the wrong way. You've been trying to achieve that thing in the wrong way. So have a little look and see it from a higher perspective. Change your viewpoint and see what's coming up for you right now. Have a little look around, notice the ways you can maybe show up differently and see what comes forward. And maybe it just means you need to take a night, a day, just out of your normal living situation. Get away for a minute if you can. Obviously be safe and all the guidelines, follow the guidelines, but maybe it's this kind of thing that you need, just to have a night away, just remove yourself from your current situation. Or maybe it's a case of how can you change something? How can you create a move? How can you travel within your own space? Maybe that's doing some meditations. If that is, then please feel free to check out my meditation shop. But if it's a meditation, that's great. Go and do some journeying. Find what it is that is going to allow you to really tap into the thing that you've been missing. So just take some time, be gentle with it, and know that the thing you're missing is coming. Just be patient with it and it will happen.
Okay, let's see what we've got here. Interesting. So the first card that came up is Rhodonite, which is find a way to forgive. And I think this really connects with what Darcie was saying about the thing that is missing, because sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves when things don't feel like they're going right, or when we feel like something's missing, like there's something we're not quite getting, like there's just something like indescribable that is not there or not happening. And we can blame ourselves for that. We can be like really mean, like fall into all of the negative self-talk, like blame ourselves, the way that we communicate, the way that we behave, our skill level, all of that stuff, like we blame us. And that is not helpful. That is not going to be the trick that helps you like call in what it is you're missing. So I want you to take some time to journal this out. Just keep a running list of all of the things that you blame yourself for. Like, even if you use something like a prompt that would be like, I'm not achieving my goals because, and then just fill in the blank and notice all of the ones that are about you, that are blaming you for certain things. And then like use whatever tools you have in your kit to work through those beliefs, because none of them are true. Like none of them are facts. They're like annoying little additions from our inner critics that just keep us small, keep us like in this tiny little box, like away from danger, away from opportunity, away from change. And we don't want that. We want to be free of these limitations. So you could use things like meditations. Darcie has a shop full of amazing meditations that will help you. You could use journaling. I'm a big fan of journaling for working through this stuff. You could use tapping. And I've got a free challenge coming up this month. So Slay 2020 is going to be full of different live tapping scripts to help you shift this kind of thing. So if you want to come along and join us for that, the link is in the description box. But whatever tool it is that you choose to use, just remember the focus is on forgiving yourself and letting go of the blame that you are putting on your own shoulders, because it is not serving you. And then next we have control. So I think this is very much an air sign thing. Like we can go through life, and I say we because I'm a Gemini, so I get the airy vibes, but we can go through life clenched like this. And it's like we are driving with our fists clenched around the steering wheel. But when you are like that, when you are that rigid, when you are that tense, you can't be flexible or be dynamic when something comes your way. Like you can't swerve to miss it. You can't adapt to the changes you're hit with. And then you just start spiraling into this place of madness and nothing happens. You get paralyzed, you get stuck. And again, like you feel like you're not moving, and then you start blaming yourself for not moving, and this whole spiral starts again. So anything that you can do to start releasing some of this control and some of this pressure that you put on yourself to believe that you have to know what's happening at every point. You have to be able to control every move. You have to know what's coming. So again, these tactics that we've talked about for helping with forgiveness, these are going to help you with releasing control too. So you're meditating, you're journaling, you're tapping, whatever it is you like to use, double down on it. Like, I feel like this is going to be a month of some serious like energies and personal development stuff for you guys. Because then we have the 5 of materials, and this is like I always think of this as like the money mindset card. So this is the big glaring reminder that you need to work on some money stuff, and it makes a lot of sense given these 2 cards that have come up. So like forgiveness work and releasing control can very much be tethered to money and abundance. So, and these are 2 things that can definitely block the income goals, the flow of money, and all of that stuff. So if you do this work, then this will sort itself out. So just make it a real priority to do the inner work, not to resist it, not to avoid it. I know that is what we tend to do, because anything that feels like it's going to be big or sticky or uncomfortable, we will find so many creative reasons not to do it. But unfortunately, it is the key. It's the thing that's going to make the difference and help us get what we want. And so Jade is the final card that I pulled out for you. And this is all about like rising above and being the bigger person. So really, this is just an extra reminder to do that work. Because you can tell yourself that you don't have time, or you're too busy, or you need to do this thing first or that thing first. And in reality, that is another act of sabotage. That is another thing that is keeping you small, keeping you from progressing. So make the decision now to change this, to do something different, to take the time to focus on the forgiveness and the releasing control, because that is when you will start seeing the big changes. So for any Libras watching this, I want you to hit the comments and just tell us that you are committing. So just type out the words, I'm committing to releasing control, or I'm committing to forgiveness, and just put it in the comments now so we can come and hold you accountable, because I want to see you all thrive, and I know that this is the key for you. Okay, now let's move on to our Scorpio reading. Darcie?
So, Scorpio. So I'm a Scorpio moon, so I feel your vibes here. First card we have is transformation. So whilst we're in the time of Scorpio, I also feel like this is a real time for you to really embrace the change. And I think this change is going to be happening on this very deep level. And I do feel it's going to be a healing kind of change. So I'm very excited for this for you guys. And I think it's going to allow you to tap into a new level of your intuition. The reason that I say that is we have the Trust the Niggle card, which literally flew out the deck. So I think it's really important for you guys right now to really trust your intuition and to really listen to what you want. And I think this month is going to be a time for you to really tap into what you want. And I think this is like a really, really big message, because we have the Divine Passion card coming up here. And I think it's also like the challenge for you guys to actually be honest about what you want, and not what you should have or what you think you want even. What do you really want? What does your soul really want? And I also think some journaling on this could be really, really powerful. And then I think once you identify what you want, I think it's then time to trust the universe and allow it to happen and unfold in whatever way that it comes forward for you. We have the Stag here, which is all about trusting and thriving and allowing things to unfold in this magical, powerful way, which of course they will. And I think this is just really time for you guys to just allow it to be. And I think, yeah, I'm really feeling some journaling will be great for you on what it is that your soul really wants, just to really connect into that. And then just allow yourself to watch it unfold, because it will, and trust it. Really, really trust it. So yeah, I'm very excited for you, Scorpios.
Okay, so let's see what I've got for you. Now the first card is choice. So like Darcie was saying, this is about really getting clear on your choice. So not focusing on the thing that you think you should be doing, or that you've been told that you should be doing, or that makes sense to do, but trusting like the sensations that you feel in your body when you present yourself with the options. So let's say you have 3 different product ideas. Just like talk to yourself about them, write down what they would look like, and notice the different physical sensations in your body when you're thinking about each one. That's going to be a really powerful way to help you make those decisions, because you are a Scorpio, you are all about the feeling. So use that as a superpower, use that as a way to make your decisions and make sure that you are doing a business in the most aligned way possible. And then the next card that came up is Amazonite, which is all about releasing your grip. So again, this is about making your choice. It's letting go of that belief that things have to be done a certain way, in a certain order, in like using a certain methodology because it's somebody else's system. It's letting go of all of those things and knowing that you can enjoy a particular mentor or coach. You can appreciate their systems and frameworks. You can learn from them, but you can also be discerning. You can pick and choose the parts that work best for you and that resonate for you and that feel relevant for your business, and you can discard the rest. Gone are the days when we have to do things in a certain way to achieve any kind of success. There is no one formula. And I need you to really hear me when I say this, because you, my Scorpio friends, will have noticed, I do not doubt, a certain amount of resistance to doing certain things. And that will have led to procrastination and not getting what you want and feeling really frustrated. That is because you are trying to shoehorn yourself into somebody else's way of working. This right here, this reading, is your permission slip to stop doing that, to choose the parts that feel right for you and to double down on those. You can create success on your own terms, but not if you keep trying to force yourself to work on somebody else's. Then the next card that came up was the 8 of Materials, which is like a super abundant card. So all of these roses here like represent money and cash, and like look how many arms she's got, look how much money she's juggling. Like it's all happening, and it's happening like in a flowy, pretty way. And that's what happens when you make the choices that feel good to you. So make those choices, make the choices that feel good. If this is resonating, then go ahead and hit subscribe now, because I do these readings every month and I don't want you to miss the next one. Oh, okay. The card that came up next is like a dark and mysterious one. I love it. So it's the 8 of Voices, which is in reverse. And when it comes up the right way up, it's very much about being like blindfolded and not seeing the reality of what's going on around you. But because it came out in reverse, it tells me that the opposite of true is true for you. Like you see what's going on around you. You see like what will work for you. You see who you can trust. You see so much. Like you are so connected spiritually. You are so connected energetically and emotionally that you see everything, but you don't trust what you see. You are so much more inclined to trust what people tell you versus what you see for yourself. And I want you to start doing the opposite. Start trusting what you see, what you feel, what you experience, just as much, if not more, than what other people tell you. And I really just want to emphasize this, because this, like learning to trust yourself and make your choices and do the things that feel most aligned, is going to radically change the results that you are getting in both your life and your business. And I know it might feel weird to start with, it might feel uncomfortable, but it is so, so worth doing. So worth it. Now, if you feel some kind of resistance to really trusting yourself and doing this kind of like work, then I want you to come along to Slay 2020, which is a free 2-week coaching experience I'm hosting this month. And as part of it, we're going to be doing 5 days of live tapping that will help you release all of that shit so that you can start making the decisions that feel best for you and actually enjoying it. So definitely come check it out. The link is in the description box, and hopefully I will see you there. Okay, time for Sagittarius reading. Darcie, take it away.
So, my fellow Sagittarians, I'm a Sagittarius rising, so I feel you on this one. So, first of all, 2 cards from the first deck literally flew out, and they flew out together, and it's very interesting because their message is very linked. So, I think you are or you have been going through a big spiritual awakening recently. Now, if you're already spiritually woke, as they say, like this is something for you where you've had like a deeper understanding or a deeper connection to something, or you've unlocked a new skill. The reason I say this is because of these 2 cards. We have literally the awakening card, and then also here the pillar of light. This is all about you up leveling, upgrading to the next level version of yourself, because you're just on this magical ride up this beautiful white light ladder going up through these magical versions of yourself. And I think this is something that has been really powerful for you, and I think you're probably coming to the end of it by the time you watch this. That's the feeling I'm getting. I'm feeling like it's maybe the beginning of the month, or you've been going through it and you're kind of feeling like you're coming to the end of it. I think maybe you're feeling a bit tired. Doesn't matter if you're not, but I do feel that, because I think it's really important right now. Listen to your body, listen to what your soul and your body are telling you to do. If you're feeling you're needing to rest, allow it to happen. If you're feeling this fire and this like wanting to just go, then do that too. Whatever your body, your soul, you are telling you that you want, listen to yourself right now. This is really important. Listen to what you really want. So there's this real sense of actually, what do I really want to do right now? What is it that actually makes me feel like what I really want to do right now? And see how much of that you can just bring into reality. So, and I think there's definitely this sense of you up leveling into your skills, and just this is your reminder to trust your own intuition, to trust your skills. As times change, as things happen, you have exactly what you need within yourself. And then your last card from me, which is just your reminder, is just to stay really grounded, to really connect to the earth and to just root yourself deep into it. Because if you're anything like me, I get very carried away, and sometimes I just need to like deeply ground myself. So if you need some grounding, I do have on my meditation shop, I have a free 3-minute just grounding exercise, or I also have a full earth guided meditation, which is just very magical. So they'll be linked down below. Check them out if you feel called to. But yeah, those are the cards I have for you guys.
Okay, let's see what I have. Oh, yeah, okay. Like all of these make sense. So first up, we have Celestite, which is a very like soothing crystal. So this is about like really nourishing yourself and taking care of yourself, and like, but doing it with like slowness and intention. So again, like a very grounding kind of energy. And so like Darcie said, like making the time to ground yourself is going to be amazing. It's going to be incredibly impactful for you. And you can do this through, like Darcie said, through a meditation. You could do it by getting outside, being in nature, walking around barefoot in the grass, hugging a tree, which is one of my personal favorites, using an earthing wire if you live in the city. I do that too. Anything that you can do to just like calm yourself, ground yourself, center yourself is going to be really important for you this month. So then next we have the 9 of Inspiration, but this came out in reverse. Now, to me, this is a really fiery card in the sense that it's all about momentum. It's all about like making your ideas happening and being in full flow and getting them done. But when it's in reverse, it could just mean that you are doing that a little bit mindlessly. So it's almost like you are getting trapped in that cycle of busy work and hustle and just like ticking 12 things off your to-do list every single day and just trying to like get tons and tons and tons done. when you operate like that, you don't necessarily make space for like creative genius. You don't make space to do like really good work. You do surface level work. And so you have to ask yourself, like, do you want to do surface level work, or do you want to make a real impact? If it's the latter, then it is your responsibility to take care of yourself energetically, to make space to actually do your work properly, and make space to rest and replenish yourself. Which brings me on to the next card, which is flow. So again, it's very much this sense of slowing down, making space, getting inspired and taking action on that inspiration. Like that is like a Sagittarius superpower. Like when you get hit with that spark of inspiration, you can go, you can do the thing, you can make magic happen. But you need to also take care of yourself and keep your intentions front of mind. So if you had a vision about a way that you wanted to work, maybe like working fewer hours, or collaborating with people, or whatever it is, check in with yourself when those new ideas hit and make sure that you are still showing up as the person who wants those things. So if working fewer hours is a priority for you, then no matter how inspired you are, you still need to be working those fewer hours, because otherwise you're just breaking promises to yourself. You're telling the universe that you don't really want the things that you say you want, and that means that you will not create the reality that you desire. So learning to balance like your original, like deep, profound vision with these momentary jolts of inspiration is going to serve you really, really well. And just to be clear, there is nothing wrong with feeling really motivated and wanting to power through and get things done. And that can absolutely be your way of operating in sprints. It is not a lifestyle choice. Like pushing yourself to the point of burnout is not a lifestyle choice. It is a temporary measure. Remember that. And the last card that I pulled out for you is energy balance. So this is very much about balance. So like I said, it is fine to have these temporary spurts of like a ton of energy where you get things done and tick all these boxes and create these amazing things, but you need to follow that with some flow, with some chill, with some grounding, with some space, because otherwise you will drive yourself into the ground, and that is not what you want. You are here to do great work. You are here to create a business that has an impact on people, and you are not going to be able to do that if you burn yourself out. If creating this kind of working habit that really like fuels your vision and your body is something that you struggle with, I really want to encourage you to join me for Slay 2020, which is a 2-week free coaching experience I'm hosting this month. We're going to be doing 5 days of live tapping that will help you shift exactly this kind of block, along with a whole bunch of others. So definitely come and join us. The link to do that is in the description box, and hopefully I will see you there. Okay, so now let's move on to our Capricorn reading.
So, Capricorns, first of all, for you, I have the Warrior Woman card. And this card, it comes up and it says on the card, have you answered your deepest calling? So I think that would be something really powerful for you to journal on right now, because I think right now is a time for you to realign and re-tap into what it is that you really want. And just to look and notice, do you have this armor on that's stopping you from getting it? Is that a preventative thing? Is it actually holding you back? Do you need the armor that you have on right now? Just to think about. And I think right now you're going through this time where you need to give yourself a lot of love and compassion to go with the flow. These are the 2 cards that came out that's really calling me to this. It's these 2 cards here. So we have the Undying Love card and the Bodies of Water. So I think right now, just to give yourself this compassion to go through this change and this transformation. And I really just see this magical energy in this. And I think you're really going through this realigning. That's the best word that keeps coming up to me, is realigning. Like you're realigning to what it is that you really want to be doing, where you really want to be spending your time right now. And I think allow yourself to play, to look, to notice the different things. And when I think of bodies of water, I think of how many different forms of water there are. Is it a lake? Is it a well? Is it the ocean? Is it a river? There's so many different ways you can do the same thing. So many different ways you can see the same energy. So I really invite you to spend some time journaling and just thinking about and reconnecting to yourself and really going back into that first question. Have you answered your deepest calling? Are you connecting to that version of flow that actually aligns the most with you and who you are? And just give yourself permission to be held and to hold space for yourself right now, because I think sometimes we think we have to make these decisions instantly, and that's not actually how it is. Like, give yourself some time to be held. Maybe even there are people around you who you could talk to about these things, and that might really help you to vocalize your emotion. And I just really feel, allow yourself to create some sacred space for you to even hold yourself in, because you're a very powerful being, Capricorn. You can do it. You know, you have this ability to hold yourself in this magical new way. So I'm very excited for you to step into this new version of flow.
Okay, so let's see what I have for you. So first we have Angelite. And the words on this say, support is all around you. And I think that's a really important reminder for you Capricorns out there, because I know it is your superpower that you can do hard things and you can do them consistently, but you don't have to. You don't have to be doing hard things all the time. You can actually do easy things. You can let things flow. You can be supported. You can be taken care of. You don't always have to be doing the difficult thing. Even if that is your, your comfort zone, it can be reassuring to keep working the way we've always worked, because we know how to handle that. But ask yourself, is that really what you want? Is that really what you want? And then, so the next card that came up is the Page of Voices. Now this is all about learning new things. So I think it makes a lot of sense going with that past card. It's learning how to do things in an easier way. So take a look at what you're actually doing day to day. And this can be in your business, it can be in your life, like both things. And just notice where things could be easier, where things maybe have a few extra steps that don't need to be there, where things have extra complications that you could remove. And just like go in with the eye of a detective, like no judgments, no guilt, no shame, just notice where things could potentially be easier. And then maybe like make a decision to make one of those changes today, just one. Like you don't have to radically overhaul your entire life, but just try and make one thing that you do regularly a little bit easier. And then maybe tomorrow you make something else a little bit easier, and so on and so forth. And before you know it, you have this compounded effect of a whole life and a whole business that feels easy. Because, I mean, wouldn't that be the dream? Wouldn't that be the dream? And then the next card that came up is Transformation. So I think this is good. Like, I love this card, very Phoenix energy. This is, to me, a sign of what is possible for you. Like you can transform in all kinds of different ways. Like the results that you could be getting in your business are off the charts, but chances are they're not going to happen if you keep doing what you've always done. Like, don't be like, what is it that's saying? Like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and hoping that the results will be different. This is your reminder that the transformation is within reach if you're willing to do things a little bit differently. And for you specifically, that is doing things in a way that's easier. And it might feel to you like the way you currently do things is easy, but that's because it's a habit. That's because you're doing things in the way you've trained yourself to do them. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the way that flows best for you. So just be really mindful of that distinction as you think about this kind of thing. And what I would love for you to do to hold yourself accountable is hit the comments now and just tell us one thing that you are committed to making easier this month. Just one thing, share it in the comments. And then last card I pulled out for you is the Two of Voices. Now, this card to me always represents honesty and the potential that honesty has. So I've already suggested that you look at things with a discerning eye, with a mindful eye, like the way you're already operating. But I would also highly recommend that you talk about this publicly, that you talk about what you're working on. And this can be in a professional sense, it can be in a personal sense, but sharing like what you are currently either struggling with or overcoming or dealing with can be so helpful and so transformative to other people. And I know that like a big part of like every Capricorn I know, a big part of their mission is about making people believe in the possibility. And people will believe in the possibility if they can see you doing that thing too. So if your mission is helping people believe that things can be easier, or that they can be more aligned, or that can be more this or be more that, show them that in you. Like, show them your story and your journey and let them see that. Okay, now let's move on to our Aquarius reading.
So, magical Aquarians, you are tapping into your intuition in a new way. This is your real superpower time to tap into your intuition. Use this kind of magical portal at the beginning of the month to really identify this. So the reason that I say this is we have not only the Trust the Niggle card, which is all about listening to yourself and your intuition, we also have the Akasha card, which is all about the fact that your guidance is divinely guided. You are being communicated with through the divine. And I swear I'm not making this up, we have the Trust Your Instincts card. So literally, so many of these cards are screaming, listen to yourself, listen to your emotions, your soul, your body, how you react to things. You know, when you hear something, what's your first reaction? How does your body react? How can you listen in a new way? And I think this is going to help you. I feel like some of you Aquarians have been struggling to identify what you want, and it's really interesting. This card has come up so many times today, but we have the Divine Passion card. And again, I think this is going to allow you to really honestly and deeply tap into what you really want, listening to your intuition and what it shows you. And I think the other thing with listening to that, Aquarians, and I know a fair few Aquarians, my sister is one, and I know that sometimes what can get in her way is being a bit stubborn. And actually, I think that it's really time for you to drop that and allow yourself to see things from your intuition, not what you're telling yourself you should or think you should kind of see, and actually allow yourself to feel, to really feel like what it is that's coming through. And then I think just really allow yourself that time to reflect on it, to connect to it, to know exactly what it is that you do want, because I think this is going to really help you when it comes to moving forward, to move forward from a space knowing and trusting yourself, and that you know what you want and why you're doing what you're doing. And I think that's going to really help you when you move forward in whatever adventure comes next for you guys. So yeah, let me know if that resonates in the comments. I'm very excited to hear for all of you Aquarians. Daire?
Okay, so the first card that came up here is Modify. And I think it's exactly what Darcie was saying. Like, the Aquarians among us have a stubborn streak. And what that means is often, if you've said something or made a particular decision, you will, on principle, not waver from that, whether it's still true for you or not. So this is just a little reminder to check in with yourself when you notice yourself digging your heels in, when you notice yourself operating under a certain assumption. I want you to ask yourself, like, is this still true for me? Is this still what I think? Is this still what I feel? Or am I doing this because I said it once and my stubbornness will not let me waver? The next card that I pulled out is Create Your Own Look. And to me, this really echoes that last one. Like, the willingness to be flexible and to change and to flow can create so many opportunities, so many experiences, so much magic for you, but you have to be willing to see it, to hear it. And if you are like one track mind, focus on this one thing because you said it and now you have to stick with it, you are not going to see all of that possibility around you. So really just make it a habit to question yourself, like, is this still what I want? Is this still what I need? Is this still what I think? Because sometimes it will be, but sometimes you might find that you have evolved, you have shifted, you have a different perspective now, and that is okay. Like, that doesn't mean you were wrong before. It doesn't mean that it was a mistake. It just means that you have changed, that you've evolved, as we all do. And then the next, and these two cards actually jumped out at me at the same time, even though they're from different decks. So like one deck fell off the desk and this fell into my lap. So the Three of Materials, which is all about working in collaboration to build magical things. So what that means is relying on other people, not thinking that you have to go it alone and do all of the things and be the one that leads and be the one that does the work and be the one, because you don't. You have people around you who can inspire you, who can support you, who can lend a helping hand when you need it. You just have to be willing to ask for it, which again is that stubbornness thing. Like, you have to be willing to ask for it, because people know you. They are not just going to like come in and volunteer, because chances are in the past you've bitten their heads off. So you have to be the one to ask when you need help. And then the last card that came up is barriers. And like, this is like, your stubbornness has allowed you to build these barriers around you. So like I said, people won't just come up to you and ask if they can help you and ask if they can do something for you, because you've trained them not to. You've trained them to not exactly fear it, but to err on the side of caution with regards to offering help. And that's not to say that you were doing something wrong or like the relationships aren't amazing or whatever. Like, you just need to be the one to put the hand out and to start the conversation and to ask for what you need and to open that door. If this resonates, then I want you to hit subscribe so you don't miss next month's reading. We do these every month. And I would also love for you to leave a comment and tell me if this resonates. Like, are you one of my stubborn little Aquarians who in the past has struggled to maybe ask for the help you need? If yes, I want you to make the commitment to yourself that this month, even if it's just once, you will ask somebody in your world for a little bit of help. And last but not least, let's enjoy our Pisces reading. Darcie, over to you.
So, all of my Pisceans, I have a mission for you this month, and your mission is one of reflection. So, there's a few things I think could be really powerful to journal on if you are the kind of person who loves a good journal. If not, maybe these are really good topics of conversation for you to have with people in your house. First of all, we have the mirror coming up, which asks the question, who or what is triggering you? So maybe just taking a little look at your kind of inner world and your outer world. What is it right now that has been triggering you or pushing your buttons in some form? And if you don't feel like you've been massively triggered and it's this big dramatic thing, it might not be. It might be as simple as somebody's just been really irritating you by acting a certain way, and just taking a look at why you think that actually is irritating you and how you have reacted. Because for some of you, I feel like maybe you've been dimming your light a bit in order to, avoid a confrontation or a fight, because we all do it. And it's very easy to just be like, you know what, I'll just bite my tongue and let them say their piece and move along just to keep the peace. But I think what is really interesting is I don't actually think, A, this isn't serving either of you to do that, but B, it actually is something for you that isn't the reason that you keep the peace, because we have the don't dim to fit in card, so really allowing yourself to shine in who you are, but also the peacekeeper card saying that you can let go of the need to be right sometimes. And actually these together are showing you that this dimming yourself, it isn't what's keeping the peace. You can be your bright, beautiful, shining version of yourself and also be the peacekeeper. You don't have to be one or the other. So I think this is really important for you right now. And I also think, my Piscean friends, you have a very magical ability. Of course you do. You're these beautiful energies, and you have the ability, when you see something clearly, you can literally bring it into reality and manifest it like that. It is so easy for you. You're a very magical person, but you need to believe in yourself and hold the space for yourself. So we also actually have the hold the space card coming up here too. So it's very important for you to just allow yourself to be your magical, beautiful, shining self in all its capacity, to just notice what's maybe not serving you and how you can adjust to that, but to realize that it doesn't need to be a fight for you right now. So I think this month, just really having a little look at how things are showing up for you and how you can show up for you in a different way, I think will be really powerful. But just don't lose sight of who you are, because you're just this magical, shining being who I can't wait to see all of the magic that you create. So if this resonates, drop a comment. We would love to hear. And over to you, Daire.
Okay, so the first card that has come up for me is Angel Assistance. So this is your reminder to just ask for support as you go through life. Like, you are a sensitive soul, my little Piscean. So ask for support. And I don't mean from the people physically in your world. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But what I mean specifically here is from your guides, your guardians, your angels, whoever you feel spiritually supported by. Ask for them to step in. Like, if you are going into a situation where you feel a little bit uncomfortable, or like something might be a little bit difficult or challenging for you, ask them to come with you. Ask them to lend a helping hand. That is what they're there for, and they'll be more than happy to support you in that way. The next card that came up is Malachite, which is it's time to transform. So the theme of transformation is a strong one here. Like Darcie was saying, like, this is going to be a month for you. It's going to be a real month, but you have to do your part. So you have to take this guidance on board. You have to actually implement the things. You have to keep the promises you make to yourself. You have to do that, and you will create the results. So this is the most abundant card in the deck, the 10 of materials. This is like, everything is blossoming, everything is happening. It's time to celebrate, because you have done the thing, you've created the thing, you've hit the goal, you have just, all of it is done. It's a done deal. But you will not be able to create this if you don't do your part. And your part is showing up, asking for support, being willing to do the stickiness that is involved in transforming from the inside out, and surrendering. So this is the last card that came up. So this, if you look at this card, like, she is lying back and just dramatically surrendering to the flow. And that is something that I want to encourage you to do too, because this is going to be the result. So if you have an idea or a project that you are working on, by all means, keep doing that, but don't be hyper focused on how you're going to create the result. Don't micromanage the results that you are going to be creating, either in your life or in your business. Let some stuff be up to chance. Like, leave it up to the universe, leave it up to like whoever you believe in to bring you some of the results that you desire, because you cannot know the limits of what is possible for you. Like, there is so much out there, so much opportunity, so much that could happen. If you are so focused on one direction, you are not going to see what could come at you from a different angle. So by all means, like, do your work, have your focus, do your thing, but be open to the possibility that something else, something different, something totally unexpected could be coming your way too. And when it does, celebrate it.